Bam, 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 bam. We are back. Ladies and gentlemen, today is August 12th, 2026, and we are live. Bro has a shirt on today. I've had a shirt on for pretty much every live stream we've done ever. I took my shirt off one time and you guys lost your minds. Lost your minds, dude. Completely and utterly. Shirt on. All right, I'll get you. Devin, why, brother? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Can't blame us. Folks, today is UFC Media Day. Apparently, an Ian Garry interview just went live. Let's see. I got to make sure I find it. Let's see. Let me see. Oh, let me see. I today want to talk about the pure hypocrisy and petrifiedness of one Ian Garry. It's shocking the way this dude operates. It's shocking, but not really. Not really, you know? But I found Ian today. It's not really his entire interview that I found a bit, cowardly, but it just the way he entered his interviews today, I thought was very hypocritical and cowardly. I've already reacted to the EDP doc. It's on the second channel. Ian's son calls him the Machado fella. Yeah, so we figured we were going to get, more stuff to cover for UFC Fight Week today at Media Days. Granted, this has been a bit of a, how should I put this? This has been a bit of a lackluster build once again for UFC Fight Week. And I understand why. It's Islam is a big name, but he's not really fighting a big name. Ian Garry is relatively still unknown. But nevertheless, it still feels like it's just been a bit of a meh kind of build, Just been meh. Not really been anything to write home about. I've been waiting for Ian to say something full of cuckery, and he just won't do it. He knows better than on Fight Week. Maybe the Eddie Hearn Matchroom PR team has gotten to him and said, hey, maybe we shouldn't have you going crazy on Fight Week talking about feminism, veganism, cuckyism. Maybe we shouldn't. We shouldn't have that going on this week. Let's just focus on the fight, right? And fair enough. It keeps him out of hot water and it keeps him out of saying some really, really stupid shit from time to time. But no shirtless Wade with a downward camera angle. What the fuck? But here's the main thing I wanted to start with. This is Ian Garry talking about what questions he was going to have asked and essentially told the media how to speak to him today. I think this is absolutely insane for a fighter to be doing. And I'll tell you why in a second.
Before we start, I just want to make one thing abundantly clear. I've got the biggest fight of my life this weekend. I'm absolutely, completely fucking focused on the fight. So let's stick to the professional stuff. Yeah? Stick to the fighting. Let's talk about the fighting. Let's talk about Islam. Let's talk about the fight. Nothing else.
Couldn't even wink right, dude. Blinked instead of winking. Yeah, I hate this. I hate this. And I'm not even going to act like I don't. Ian Garry has every right in the world to not answer questions he doesn't want to answer. But that's Bush League. To get up on your yes, it's your Fight Week Media Day, but to get up in your Fight Week Media Day and say, you know what? Let's keep things professional. By the way, he's sitting in front of a bunch of journalists. This is not like a UFC press conference where someone's going to go, hey, cucko! Hey, big cuck! How's your wife? Right? No one's going to do that. You know what I mean? But he should be able to be asked about his public comments about anything he has said recently or in the past that the media is curious about. I hear all the time how MMA media sucks. And you know why people say they suck? Because they get up there and they go, hey, how was fight camp? Hey, what are you looking to implement this fight? Hey, Ian, what are his weaknesses? Where are your strengths? Hey, Ian, walk me through. You don't have to give me a prediction, but walk me through the fight. The same questions over and over and over that we always hear. But Ian can go on multiple podcasts and talk about how women should run the world and how he was, doing hard labor from washing windows and had got hit with wooden spoons in the hands as a kid, so he was abused or some shit. And his brother can come out in a public platform and call his ass out for those things, but you can't ask him about that, all right? What a soft pussy, dude. I'm sorry. This is soft as fuck. Yeah, I know he'd beat the shit out of me. And if these journalists were afraid of him, physically getting violent with them, they're a bunch of pussies too. You need to be able to ask him whatever the fuck you want to ask him. They should be able to ask him, hey, Ian, you said that all women should, the world would be better if women ran it. What'd you mean by that? Hey, Ian, you said that, cleaning your gutters was equivalent of slave labor. Can you tell us about how that's going to affect you in the fight? I get he's locked in, but you don't get to dictate the questions you're asked. You don't get to dictate that. Did Sean Strickland get to dictate the questions he was asked when he started popping off about transgenderism in Canada a couple of years ago for the Dricus du Plessis fight? No, the media asked him about that because he had said things publicly about it. He didn't tell them to ask him about it, but they knew that's a question they wanted to ask, so they did. And also, wasn't Ian Garry the guy that was in, these public spaces not keeping it about the fight? Remember when Ian Garry was talking about Jeff Neal's arrest? How is that keeping it about the fight? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? How about when he was talking about Neil Magny's son? I guess that was keeping it about the fight. I guess that was the professionalism that he looks for on fight week, yeah? There's a guy called Chloe Plemons. I know, I saw. This stuff's a joke, man. You can't be this soft to where you say things publicly and then when it comes time to potentially answer for some of those things in a platform that isn't just a podcast where the freaking, femboys are going to cross their legs and all sing Kumbaya together. When people could ask you real questions about it, you go, let's not do that. All you have to say is if someone asks you, hey, I'm here to talk about my fight. And that's it. But to come in and act like you're fucking head of media, hey guys, big fight for me this week, didn't know if you knew, so let's keep it about the fight. What a pussy. What a pussy, dude. He's going to get torched at the press conference tomorrow anyway. I hope they let some fans ask questions tomorrow, dude. I hope they let fans ask questions. Just for that. Just for that. People are like, oh, he doesn't want people asking about his wife and kids. What journalist is going to get up there and be like, hey, is your kid yours? Who's asking that question at official media days? Yeah, they would have brought up the brother comment. Probably. If they brought up the women thing, they would have been like, hey, because it's in the public space. You said those things. And your brother said it in a public forum. Sorry. That's called the cost of being an athlete. Conor was asked about his rape cases. Or his rape case during Max Fight Week, wasn't he? Did Conor go, hey, let's not ask about that? Someone asked him, and he answered it. It wasn't the greatest answer, but he answered it. That's pussy shit, bro. That's pussy shit. Yeah, he can be a mental pussy while also being able to fight. Yes. That's lacking a pair of stones, dude. To immediately, before the media even asks you the question, go, whoa. And he did it. Yeah, exactly. He did it to himself. He made all these statements publicly. He's the one that came out doing that. What's even more hilarious is there was someone that answered the questions that Ian didn't want to answer, and it was Mackenzie Dern, of all people. had more stones to answer a really a simple question that if he would have just answered it the way he wanted to answer it and move on, it would have probably made him look better, or at least emboldened him more. They asked her about the women running the world stuff. This is what she said.
Yeah. Garry recently said that the world would be a better place if women were in charge.
If women ruled the world and we just listened to them and let them take over, we'd all live in a better world. Like, it would all be simpler and easier. That's the fact.
Being a
Such a fucking awful quote. So bad. Every time you hear it, it's fucking terrible.
UFC woman champion, just kind of your opinion and if you agree with him.
I mean, that's so hard. I come from like a little bit more traditional like upbringing, you know. Obviously the women in my family are super strong and independent.
I like that Mackenzie has gone back to doing her American accent. Good for her. You know, she kind of flip-flops between, she was born, I think, in Arizona, and then she like does Brazilian, American, like between the two. And then she sometimes even goes like full broken English. She's back to like full speaking English with an American accent. That's good.
And they taught me how to be a strong woman. But I don't know. I like the guy protecting and, you know, leading and doing that stuff. And I like to just relax. And if I need to go to war with him, I will. But yeah, I mean, I'm a mommy and stuff like that. So I think it's very good, strong woman. And we don't depend on guys. We can be independent. But I like the man taking the lead.
What's wrong? I mean, first off, W answers. Second off, she called herself mommy. Hey, yo. And then, like, again, she answers the question, we move on. Ian's such a puss that he couldn't even answer the question. He wouldn't even let that question be asked. Insane, dude. Insane. I hope they give it. I hope that he gets some of these fan questions at the press conference, dog. I really hope he does. Here's Ian's fight pictures. Here, look over there. Wait, she's talking? Ian's fight pictures. What does this say in the middle of his chest? Does that say choose love? His tattoo says choose love. Holy cringe. Choose love. Dude, he's even got the feminist tattoos, bro. He's even got like the leftist feminist tattoos, dude. Like the oddly small, kind of sporadic tattoos everywhere. Is that his wife's name? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, but knowing the context of the relationship, does she have Ian tattooed on her? Live, laugh, love. Got a tattoo on his lower back saying, enter here. Okay, buddy. Stop it. Choose love. I know, man. Come on. I didn't even notice that. Choose love. Love is love. Love is love tattoo. Would you say he's flamboyant? Yes, bro. He even got the purple shorts. Man, got the purple shorts, dude. Oh, my God. Anyway, I can't with this guy, man. Everything he does makes you hate him more. I can't with this dude. His son's rooting for Islam. Yeah, his son is rooting for Islam Makhachev. which Islam answered a question about today at the media days.
Also, at the face-off yesterday, apparently Ian's son is a big fan of yours, and he wanted to meet you, and he started crying when he couldn't. What do you think of that, and will you give him the opportunity to meet you this week?
Yeah, sure. We will meet him. I don't see him there, but I make him happy.
Also,
Islam's like, yeah, cool, whatever, dude. We don't care. We don't care, buddy. God. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. Oh, my goodness. Ian saw blue lips at the face-off. Word on the street says Wade's got a pair of boxing gloves tatted above his crack. Okay, I definitely don't. React to his son crying? Oh, you mean yesterday? Why do you guys want to see this poor child cry? Did I see Mackenzie Dern's press conference? We just watched the clip of her answering the question about Ian Garry. All right, here's the son.
Oh, you want to say he's going?
Ian, we get a couple shots. Savannah.
We'll see him. We will see him tomorrow. It's okay. Leo, we see him tomorrow. It's okay.
Off him.
He's gone home now.
Today.
Okay, later on.
She called him Ian in front of. Wait.
He's gone home. Him tomorrow. It's okay.
Off him.
He's gone home now.
Today.
Okay, later.
Why is she calling him Ian in front of the son? This is where the son gets it. The son calls his dad Ian because the mom calls him Ian in front of the son. Does he call the mom Layla in front of the son? That's so weird, bro. This whole thing is weird.
Later on, tomorrow, do you want to shake his hand and say hello?
Next time. Oh, baby, next time. I'm sorry, he was rushed. He didn't mean that. He was rushed.
No, he's very busy, okay? When you're the champion, you have a lot of media, okay? You've seen how much stuff Daddy does? He does the same as me. So he comes, he
He says, Daddy there.
does his work, and then he's leaving, okay? Give me a cuddle, okay? I promise you, I will get you to say hello to him during the week, okay? And I'm sure he will say yes, okay? Does that make sense? Love you. Okay?
There's nothing wrong with that. I know they're recording it all, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good, I mean, W.A.D.E. As much as I can't stand him, W.A.D.E, right? Comforts his son, tells him. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie. If I had a bit more ego, I'd be like, dude, fuck this. He's not your favorite. I'm your you know what I mean? But that's a good dad, man. That's a good dad. That's a good dad. It's because his real dad's the nutritionist. Yeah. But it is weird. It's weird how they keep calling him Ian in front of the kid. Like, that's his dad. His name should be Dad. I don't know. Wade's still envious of what Khabib did to the Mac. I take him to deep waters and he discovers himself. Buddy, no one's talking about Khabib. You've got some weird... Is this 291? Oh my God. This dude has to be like Mr. Islam, buddy. He's in all my chats only speaking about Muslim everything. Dude, we get it. You're a Muslim. You don't have to like fanboy every single one of them, dude. Jeez. Nobody, literally no one's talking about Khabib. He's in every one of the chats, bro. Look at Josh Hokett's recent tweet about that clip. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. No, dude. No. Try to play that game and have your kid shake my hand. I'm punting that fucking kid. Holy fuck. Oh my God. We fully disavow. We fully disavow. We do not stand with Josh Hokett on that statement. Okay? Fully disavow. Someone call Neil Magny. Listen, we are big Josh Hokett fans here at the W.A.D.E Concept channel, but we fully disavow that statement. We can't do it. What is this? Punt just works, ties all the comedy together. Uncle Jail, what are you talking about? No quote tweet, no nothing, just a straight tweet of him breaking down the verbiage. I swear I just popped up on my Twitter. What the hell? It just works. Holy. So people on Twitter are kind of saying what you guys are saying, but I'm not really in the same boat on this one. But They're saying, is it not a bit strange to use your child as PR prop on fight week like Islam is preparing to fight you? Do you really need to? Oh, I see. Now, granted, I don't think that Ian's like forcing his child on him, but didn't Ian do something like this? Or didn't they, you know, have the child go and try to give somebody Skittles or M&Ms or something? John Ennick's giggle. That's right. They tried to like use him as an insurgent, like sleeper cell. To go, yeah, it was Jack Della Maddalena. He tried to use him as a sleeper cell to like infiltrate. No, dude. Now he's trying to like, yeah, cute bait. Now he's trying to like soften up Islam by having his son go over and like, you know, give him a hug and be around him all week. That's insane. Using your son as the Trojan horse. Literally crazy, dude. They're doing that though. I just now put it together. Islam was like, whatever. No, down. We're not jumping up today. No. Not today, Bubba.
These.
Thank you. Oh, a gift. Thank you.
You gave him a gift? What did you give him? I say, I hope you enjoy them. These.
Actually crazy to do this. Actually insane to do this. To use your kid to try to give JDM snacks all week so that he would miss weight. It's insane. And he's like admitted to doing this. He's admitted to doing this shit. Insane, bro. He did something like that with Bilal? No.
How you doing, man?
Interview him. Say to him, say, how are you feeling for this weekend? Big fight.
Big fight.
Big fight. Appreciate you, man. You're the best interviewer I've had so far.
Say, do you want to cause violence?
Violence.
A lot of violence. Yeah.
Do you want to see him wrestle or do you want to see him outstrike?
Bang.
Bang. He wants to see
Bang.
you win on the feet. So you say, hello?
Hello.
Can you win on the feet?
We can.
Oh, there you
You
go.
can.
Say thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you more.
Fala merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
How you doing, man?
This is insane, bro. This is insane. He's a good dad, but we're getting into odd territory with the cute bait, all right? He's using the son to infiltrate on fight week. What are we doing here, dude? What are we doing? I know. He's like talking shit to Bilal through the kid. And then using the kid to try to make Jack Della Maddalena miss weight. Then he's trying to like get Islam to soften up by speaking to the kid. What are we doing, bro? Here's my son, be his mascot. Hey, real quick, stop your actual media so my kid can ask you questions, dude. Please and thank you. Oh my God. All right, let's take a look at his interview with Daniel Cormier because I want to see like how he did. All right, 291. Stop spamming, dude. He's going to bring his kid into the octagon. Yeah, he's going to hold him up like a Never mind. No, I'm not going to. Nope. Okay. Let's go into this interview, dude. Let's go into this interview because I've already seen his media day stuff. I've seen clips of the actual media day, but let's go into this. Shut up, chat. Shut up.
It's like a real thing now. Yeah, it's really good. It's grown.
The kid came in here too. The kid came in here too. Don't jump, buddy. Don't jump.
Hey, what's up, man? You want to do it? Are you gonna do it? Huh?
No.
Look at this guy. Bro, what are you teaching him how to be in front of a camera, aren't you?
He just wants to do it.
Really?
I'm not teaching him anything. If you think about it, How many times have I done this, right? This isn't the 8th time he's followed me around.
No.
So he knows what to do.
Hey, you want to get you?
I want it off.
No, look, it stays
No,
on,
it stays
so
on.
it's got his name, look.
Yeah.
So it's a Daniel Cormier show, so that knows when you're talking into it what he's doing. So look, ask him a question.
What's your name?
My name is Daniel.
So I don't know if you and me have sat down and watched DC's fights before.
No.
We should do it. Do you know that DC's a double champ?
No.
He had 2 belts. He won 2.
Like his amateur.
Exactly like Islam Makhachev. Yeah, he did it before Islam. Did you know that?
And Islam knocked it.
You're fighting. Your dad's fighting Islam, huh? You excited?
I think can I get 2 belts?
Can I get 2 belts? Let's get the first one.
No, get 2 belts for me.
Oh, I can get you one. I'll win one, and then you can win one. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to try knock someone out.
You need to try and knock someone out?
Yeah, we need to try and get the belt.
Okay, we can do that. How about you train with me, you train with Dave.
My dog is like Ian's son, dude. He just wants to be on camera. I'm shamelessly trying to get views by having my dog on camera. Hey, we do this every day because your mom's not here. Can we take today and not do it? Rocky versus Ian's kid on UFC 333. Appreciate the 2, dog. Hey, what are we doing? Can we not do this today? Damn, push the mic down. Push the mic down is crazy. Good Lord.
Me and Maya, you train with Strout and Charles, and we'll get you ready to win a world title. How do you think? Good job? We did, agreed? Okay, now I need to do my work. Can I sit down and do it?
No, it's my work.
It's your work? I'm with tonight, we're gonna go, I tell you what, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna show you, look, you've met DC now. I'm gonna show you DC winning the Grand Prix, because that was one of my favorites.
How you doing?
I'm very good. How are
you feeling, dog?
I'm very good. How's things?
Man, finally here, huh?
Finally got here.
Wow.
It's been a while.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, ready for it.
Yeah. Guys, I'm here with Ian Machado Garry as he gets ready to challenge for the UFC Welterweight Championship this weekend. Philadelphia, UFC 331. It seems like this has been a long time coming, man. I can recall your very first fighter meeting. Mm-hmm. You sat on that table, and you literally sat on the table and told us all that we would be here at some point. How did you have the foresight to see that
did DC just
when
call
you were
it
such a
UFC
young kid? At
331?
least it seemed like you were so young coming in.
Did DC just call it UFC 331? Motherfucker, you're on the broadcast. It's UFC 330. Good Lord. Like, you could forgive me if I make the mistake because I'm not, like, a part of the actual company. Brother, you're on the broadcast on Saturday. You know what the event is?
To this organization.
I know how talented I am, but talent can only get you so far. I work harder than everyone. I'm intelligent with my approach in fighting. I see fights differently. I see fighting differently to most. That's why I believe I'm special and why other people can't do the things I can do. And I love this. If I'm not enjoying myself, then why am I here? I love every moment of this. I love coming here and doing all the interviews, doing the media obligations. It brings up the energy, ramps up the anticipation for the fight. And then Saturday night, when the stage is bright and the lights are shining and I show up, I have the most fun. And that's what I want to do. I like to compete. I like that atmosphere. I like that energy. And this weekend, I've got the toughest test I could possibly ask for, and I'm so excited for it.
Have you done anything in prior fights to prepare yourself for this week specifically? Not in terms of the fighting, because in terms of the fighting, we cover all those bases in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the mental wear and tear of all the more media, having to go and do the face-off, and all these other things that come with being tied to a championship opportunity.
No, I think when it comes to...
Wade knows nothing about fighting. Buddy, you said I have no idea, and you spelled it K-N-O-W, idea. I swear. I have a bunch of morons in this chat.
Everything that we have to do in the big fights and all the media obligations and everything that is required, it's second nature to me. I'm destined for greatness, and part of the greatness is showing up and doing the work and doing the obligations to help grow the sport and help bring more eyes to my fights.
You've said this now. We've been talking for a minute and a half, and you said destined. Destined. Like, when did you start to
know
feel
by
like
way of, exactly.
becoming a world champion was your destiny?
I always knew, as a kid, I was great at everything, but I was never the best at anything. And I knew that there was going to be something that crossed my path. I could just feel it. And when MMA...
He's the best feminist on the planet. That's what it is. Best feminist on the planet. Way more sensitive than a libtard. Only when your mother's rubbing me down, pussy.
Kicked off in Ireland because of Conor. I went, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do. And I remember sitting there watching John Jones, George St. Pierre, yourself, Anderson Silva. It's like the greatest of all time. I watched all of your guys' fights, and I was like, I can do all of that. I was watching it without ever training. I was like, I can do all this. And it was at that point, as probably a 16-year-old kid, I was like, that's it. I'm going to go and achieve that. I want to be the best in the world at this sport.
Yeah.
The UFC.
Ian, when you speak about in Ireland, the sport blowing up, Conor McGregor, right? Every time you get a guy like that from a country like that, the next person is just flooded with pressure. Like, there's just so much pressure, especially whenever you're a person that is willing to speak his truth, to speak what he wants to happen, because then we all start to compare it to what...
I hate this speak your truth shit. I hate this. And I know he's talking about the fight game more, but when I think of people saying, let me speak my truth, holy shit. There is one truth. There is not your truth and my truth. There is the truth. The truth. Okay? Stop this speaking your truth bullshit. You can speak your opinion. You know your truth.
What McGregor did. Did you feel the pressure, being an Irish kid, coming into this sport, that he was the biggest superstar of all time and everybody so closely relating what you are going to do to what he had done?
I got the nickname The Future from my first amateur MMA fight.
I
walked out. It was the biggest amateur show in Irish MMA at the time. I walked out. A guy threw a leg kick. Boom. Left hook. Knocked him unconscious. And then the commentators lost their mind. I would say, ladies and gentlemen, have we just seen the future? I knew it before I'd entered that octagon, before I entered that cage, that I was the next heir to the throne for Irish MMA. I was going to be the guy that was going to carry this sport for the second generation. I knew that then, and I'm living it now. I've always wanted to be that guy, to be the person who's leading the second wave of Irish MMA. Being compared to Conor and his greatness and what he achieved in the octagon, I don't see that as a negative in any way, shape, or form. But I am me. I am different. I am forging my own legacy, my own path to greatness.
Definitely forging his own legacy. That's true.
And I'm not in this world to live up to anyone else's expectation. I'm in this world to live up to mine. And I have the highest of expectations of myself every single fight, every day I wake up, as a dad, a fighter, a husband, every day.
When you get this fight,
you
right?
got called a woke tard and MAGA tard 10 times today? Yeah, bro. That's how you know I'm in the right place. When people think I'm like full MAGA, Donald Trump, whatever, and then think I'm some like lib or something, that's when you know I'm right in the sweet spot, baby. Just like I am in their mothers. Pussies.
Your whole career builds to this moment, to fight for the world championship.
Yeah.
It's Islam Makhachev, the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. What's the initial feel when you get that call? Because I will tell you this. When I got to fight John Jones, it was so much better than thinking I would fight someone else. Because whether you win or you fail greatly, you get to challenge yourself against the absolute best, at least in my case because I lost. But I still found so much joy in prepping for that challenge.
But would you rather lose to one of the greatest of all time
or fight some trash?
Fight someone else? Do you know what I mean?
I wanted that big thing.
That's the competitor in you. I never approach a fight in my life thinking I'm going to lose. I know I can win this fight against Islam. I know Islam can win this fight against me. I know how a fight goes. And you go in, if you have any momentary lapse in concentration, it goes the other way. I know how big this fight is. And I know how
I do have. I am so lucky to have my girl, Logan. I know you don't know the touch of a woman, but I am lucky to have my girl, and she's lucky to have me. Thank you. I appreciate you showing up consistently and watching. I appreciate all of you that consistently watch with that hate in your heart, with that incel energy. Yes, I have a beautiful girl, and her name is your mother.
Commonly talented Islam Makhachev is.
Her
I have
name
earned
is
this
Mrs.
fight.
Hendry.
I deserve this fight, but I am so happy it's him. Because he is one of the greatest we've ever seen in this sport.
I get to wow like this when Chloe's not home, okay?
And he has done everything he's needed to do to deserve that respect. And I said it. I said it when I beat Carlos Praches. I said, I'm next. But if Islam Makhachev wants to come up to this division and challenge and achieve that second belt, then everybody needs to take a step back and give him the respect he deserves, because he is absolutely one of the greatest we've ever seen. He's done it. He is a 2-weight world champion now. He has achieved, I'm assuming, everything he's wanted to achieve in this sport. And he has a record that he can break this weekend. I'm not getting...
You guys are saying don't fall for the trolls. The trolls make the stream. Ian's saying a whole lot of nothing. I could give a fuck about this Believe Achieve interview. He's just not interesting. It's more interesting to fucking goof with the people in chat than listen to this shit. We've heard every fighter ever say this shit. These are my dreams. It's my time. I want to hear some shit talk, bro. I want to hear something interesting. Gah. This motherfucker says the same shit over and over. Anyone wants to ask him an interesting question? No, can't do that.
Greatest fighter on the planet right now who's on that kind of cusp of falling off. He's at the peak of his career. He is at the top of his career in a new way.
Wade had to leave. Can't stand this guy. I mean, it is what it is. He's not saying anything like crazy, but it's just boring.
Vision with a new sense of life in his body and his bones. That's the man I get to beat to prove I'm the best in the world.
Do you think that respect, though, and acknowledgement of that makes you even a bigger challenge? Because you know that there's a threat, so you prepare yourself even more, and you're ready. I think so many guys, when fighting those guys, lack confidence.
The entire interview is just, congratulations on taking a challenge, as if every fighter in the history of ever has not had to take a challenge when fighting for a belt. This is just DC being like, wow, you're so brave to fight for a championship. This is so brave to do. God, just who cares? Talk about what he's going to do, if anything. Fuck, I know he's not going to let you answer him or ask him the question about his women take over the world Beyonce shit, but damn.
You have no lack in confidence. I can feel it coming off of you.
I think it's not about respecting him more. It's about, that's the challenge I want.
Yeah.
I want to beat that guy to prove to the world I'm the best. Because when I beat him, nobody has any questions anymore. Ian Machado Garry is great.
No, he still got questions, buddy.
He has just beaten...
Yeah, this is NPC fighter responses. This is like Ian Garry doing spoken word.
One of the top 10 greatest of all time. Then what can they say?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for me, I relish this opportunity. I've earned this opportunity, and I'm glad and I'm happy that it's Islam. Because there is no, I believe, in my opinion, there's no tougher challenge for a challenger to challenge for the world title. What Islam has done, the win streak he's on right now, a 2-weight world champion, 16-fight win streak or whatever the record is right now, and he's trying to break that with his victory with a victory on Saturday night if he gets one.
Wade's excited, Nick. Yeah, I did see that. We saw that yesterday. Thank you for the 2. It was very funny.
This weekend,
I hope he doesn't go down the rabbit hole of like continuing to drink, Connor, because one small step for man with that guy, right?
Stopping his history, his legacy, and creating my own. My own history that I create this week is I become the second UFC's champion from Ireland. My legacy this week is I become the most victorious Irishman in UFC history. I pass Conor for wins in the sport. So I think about his history and his legacy and stopping it, but I think about creating mine. That's what makes this fight so big, so interesting. And dude, I cannot tell you how focused I am on this fight and how ready I am for it.
You have faced guys in Shavkat that people are always so good, and you
First finish,
had such a great
legacy.
fight.
Exactly.
Do you think that fight helped you prepare for this specific challenge this weekend, being that you've been in there with a guy that possessed a lot of the same type of skills?
There's an argument to say that Shavkat is slightly more dangerous, just due to the fact that he had, when I fought him on short notice, he had...
On short notice, this guy kills me. Oh, my Lord. He's going to 100% bring up the knee kick thing. 100% he's going to bring up how he destroyed Shavkat's knee. 5,000%.
18 fights and 18 finishes. And it wasn't like it was 18 submissions. It was 10 knockouts and 8 submissions. Or
It was 3 weeks. Okay, short notice. Most of these fights can be done on 5-6 weeks. He did it in 3 weeks. All right, we get it. It wasn't like it was 8 days. It wasn't like it was a week notice. It wasn't like it was fight week. Come on.
9-9.
Yeah.
It was evenly matched. So he was able to knock you out in the feet and he was able to submit you. And he was able to do it in 15 minutes. So there was an element to me that says he was potentially more dangerous.
Yeah.
Not more dominant, but more dangerous.
Yep.
I could say the same argument against Carlos Praches. Carlos Praches
Look at Praches now.
is arguably more dangerous to fight than Islam Makhachev. Because...
Wait, so does Shavkat get the credit for beating Ian Garry on short notice, or no?
He has that switch.
I'm confused.
Hits you once and it's game over. And when I fought him on 3 weeks short notice again, he was on an 11-fight knockout streak.
Yeah.
And since I fought him, he's continued the same trend.
Same trend.
The trend and the common denominator of all these things is that I'm great.
He didn't have a full camp for Ian Garry. So what do you mean? Short notice fight.
And I'm better.
And you always stop it.
And I stopped his win streak. I stopped his knockout streak. And this week, I stopped Islam's consecutive win streak.
I think that you have a great mind for fighting, right?
Said listening to him sounds like a wet fart in slow motion.
So when you look at Islam Makhachev, what do you see as an opponent, and how has your preparation been? How have you prepared? Where have you prepared for what will be it's the greatest night of your career, at least to this point?
Absolutely. I've left no stone unturned. I traveled to Georgia. I felt some of the Georgian national wrestling team. I wanted to feel their style because it is a different style. You've trained with these guys for years. You know far more than I do about how their style is, the way they wrestle, the way they use different techniques. So I wanted to feel a more similar style to that, and that was the start of my camp. Then I went to Brazil and I met up with the team in Brazil and we discussed ways to work on the ground, and then we evolved onto the feet. And I have, over the last 9 months, prepared myself not to beat Islam, but to become the champion of the world.
Yeah.
I'm ready now to take the throne, to be the best in the world, to carry the burden of being that guy with the tiger on his back. I'm ready for it all.
You know, I sit here.
He is not ready for that. Let me tell you, he is not ready for people to put a target on his back, dude. And I'm not even talking about in the cage. I'm talking about the burden of having the target on your back outside of the cage. He is not ready for that. He's ready to fight, sure. I believe him. 9 months, trained with all these different people, gone to different countries. I believe him. But he is not ready for that other side of it.
See, I've known you since the very first one, and I really have grown to have a real like of Ian Garry. I like your career. I like the way you carry yourself and everything. I had this conversation with someone the other day. I saw a picture. You had a book where it said, "One day the champion, another day, another day." It was just visualizing.
It's here with me. I brought it with me.
Just visualizing everything, right? And it seems like everything should be. When Conor McGregor did all these things, everybody just loved it and praised it. But it's not like you get the respect of that. Can you feel that? And I don't understand why. Like, why don't people from the outside recognize how dangerous a fight this is this weekend? Because guess what? Anyone in the know understand how difficult it is for Islam Makhachev this weekend facing Ian Garry. But it just seems like there's like a little bit of a disconnect from the general fan to the people that are in knowledge of this thing.
I
don't even know where DC started that question. That was on one of the longest questions I've ever heard.
Search for other people's respect.
Yeah.
Between me and you as a competitor, you and I both know what it means for me to go out here and beat Islam Makhachev.
Yes.
I don't care for the outside world's opinions.
Okay.
I know what happens when I beat Islam. I know the legacy it creates, and I know how it changes me and my opinion of me as a fighter. It cements myself forevermore as a champion of the world. My name goes down in history as a former, when I finish, a former champion of the world.
Obviously, if Ian Garry beats Islam Makhachev, everybody has to give him a respect of beating the number 1 pound-for-pound guy in the world. That's obvious, like, of course. Does that mean people will respect him as a person? Probably not. They'll respect his fighting career. They'll respect him as one of the best in the world. Sure. But that don't change how people look at you outside of fighting, dude. They're going to say what they say now. Damn, Ian Garry could whoop my ass. Ian Garry is one of the best fighters in the world. But, God, he's insufferable. That's what it'll be. But it's still a massive, massive, of course, massive accomplishment. What are we saying?
World. That will never be taken away from me. Someone else's opinions of me as a fighter compared to this guy, compared to that guy, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
When I win on Saturday night against Islam Makhachev,
I think Ian thinks that people don't like him as a fighter. I think he believes that people don't like him as a fighter versus people don't like him as a person. Or at least the way he presents himself outside of the cage. I think he's that delusional. He's like, oh, people don't like me because, I don't know, my fight style or something. I don't know. It's not it, though.
I will forevermore be a former UFC world champion. And I have a destiny and a goal and a
Buddy, are you
decade
still talking
of
about the short
domination
notice thing?
if
Give
I
it
choose
up.
to.
Good
I'm
Lord.
28 years of age. Justin Gaethje just won a world title at 38 years of age. Alexander
Man, still crying
Volkanovski is
about the short
38
notice
years of age,
comment.
still the champion of the world.
Jesus.
I have 10 years of domination at the highest level in the sport if I want to, and I choose to continue this. That's the legacy I see for myself, not other people's outside thoughts.
Yeah. What does Saturday night mean to you? You win that belt, and you hear and new UFC welterweight champion Ian Garry. What would that mean to you, to not only you, your family, your team, and everybody that surrounds you so closely?
His style is kind of boring. I mean,
it would be,
especially recently,
me proving that kid who was 16 years old, sat in Dublin, Ireland, watching UFC highlights from way back when, and forging that dream of wanting to be one of the greatest fighters of all time, it makes that dream come true. It makes every single moment, every sacrifice, every day of dedication, every training session,
every time his family didn't support him, even though they did, every time his father and mother spent money and missed time, he didn't say any of that. Why not?
Twist, every turn, every high, every low, it makes all of it worth it to prove that I was right. But more importantly, I get to share it with the people I love.
Yeah.
I get to share it with my little boy, my wife, my team, my family, the people that I care about in this world. I get to do it with them present. And we get to celebrate and have the time of our life.
You ever think that
every wooden spoon smack, every gutter cleaned, every window sprayed.
That kid back in Dublin actually dared to dream that great. Isn't it amazing? Like sometimes a person can just really dare to
It'll
dream
be worth it.
That big.
I have a tattoo.
Most people think it's
every dirty nail, every black soot.
Crazy.
I have a tattoo on my ribs that says, "Love the life you live and live the life you love."
Bro, I swear. I thought it was just choose love, bro. I thought it was just the choose love right here. So wait, you mean to tell me he's got choose love and then he's got live the life you love and love the life you live. Holy, this man loves to live and choose, and love is love, dude. Some frat girl's IG bio. His fool has a fucking Pinterest caption on his ribs, dog. Come on. Come on. Fucking hell.
And I'm living the dream, my friend.
Awesome. Good luck this weekend.
Appreciate it, brother.
Guys, Ian Machado,
Holy
Garry
cow.
challenges for the welterweight championship this weekend. Unbelievable dude. Unbelievable
Live,
fighter.
laugh, love. He might as well. He might as well have gotten live, laugh, love on the fucking ribs, dude. You can't make it up. You cannot make this shit up with him, man. Holy fuck, that is funny. Like you said, someone said go to the comments. 1 second in, and DC's pulling his shirt. Oh my god. Whoo! Oh man. People are loving the kid segment. They don't see the infiltration of the kid, to be fair. They don't see the real game behind the game. Oh my god. People that are saying Ian has a real shot, are you guys like, I'm not saying he doesn't, but are you heavily relying on the fact you come off as a hater? I don't give a fuck how I come off to you, buddy. I'll give you the Ian Garry treatment, okay? I don't listen to no one's opinions outside of my legacy. Live, laugh, love. Are you just giving him the chance of just essentially either getting taken down and getting up or stuffing takedowns? Like, which one is it? Because he's going to have to do either or both. I saw somewhere he has like an 80% takedown defense. But then you're looking through his record and you're like, who's really, who's the heavy grappler? Not to say that Islam is just going to heavy grapple. But what the fuck is this ad blocker? But outside of Shavkat, you have Bilal. Bilal was the one guy. And Bilal don't have the hands that Islam has. So I'm trying to figure out, like, who's got what Islam has in both the standing and the grappling to really compare to what I said this a couple of streams ago. Ian Garry is not going to have seen anybody like Islam Makhachev at all. Now, granted, he's seen guys with good grappling like Bilal. He's seen very good strikers like Carlos Pratis. But if he gets taken down, especially early in this fight, which again may not happen, but if he does, that'll be a very if that happens, that'll be a litmus test for how the rest of the fight goes. If Islam gets past that kind of kicking and point fighting range Ian likes to keep early, that's when things are going to get very, very interesting. Time the spammer. Yeah, dude, every time. Like a fetishized Muslim, like, gulper. Every time in my chat. Only talks about Muslim this, Muslim that. It's so weird, bro. I just think his jab, the kick range is what you should be concerned with. If you're an Islam fan, the kick range, I think, especially the low kicks, the stabbing to the front knee, trying to take away Islam's gather with the grappling, that's what I feel like you should be concerned with. Then again, if Ian goes kick heavy and Islam catches something, then you're fucked. Stop getting rage baited. Dude, this guy, the dude I just banned comes into every one of my streams and just spews insane politics stuff all the time. I'd be most worried he starts talking during the fight. Islam did take Dustin down in round 1. Sometimes Islam can hold you down and not find the finish until later. True. I just think Ian doesn't have the physical strength of a Dustin Poirier either. Maybe he does. Like, Dustin fights at 155, but Ian doesn't look like a very physically strong guy. He thinks you're Luke Thomas. Holy fuck. Listen, one thing I respect about Luke Thomas is that he is at least consistent, I disagree with pretty much all of his politics, but he's consistent. I would what's up, Wade and Socialists? I would be wary of Islam's wrestling early. But then again, maybe the one thing that's so tough when you fight guys like him is that you prepare so much for the grappling that it takes away from your striking and it takes away from your offensive mindset. So that's the catch-22 is you don't want Ian to get into like a purely defensive mindset. You don't want him to just be, striking defensively, trying to put himself in places to play defense against the grappling. You still want him to be aggressive, but obviously it's easier said than done. All right, you guys want to watch Islam's Media Day? Here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam. Dude, however many channels you have, I can ban them all.
Your first time going into a
Like,
fight
it's so
with two
easy for me
belts
to
sitting
click
in
the
front
ban
of you
button.
like this is everything you dreamed of, right? So how good does it make you feel?
It's make me smile when I see two belts here. Yesterday, we walked to the face-to-face. They just give me one belt. I'm a little bit upset now and good.
Speaking of the face-off yesterday, Ian was in here earlier, and he said he felt nervous energy from you in the face-off and that you didn't want to be there. What did you make of that? What do you make of those comments from him?
Man, I don't know how I just... not like something I want to go there. Like, I've been there before also. And
Islam's like, yeah, I don't want to do these these stupid-ass face-offs in front of the fucking Rocky statue.
I don't see anything from his eyes. I just see his eyes, and I'm not nervous. This is like my second fight week in my life where I'm enjoying every moment.
Was the last one the first?
Yeah, the last one and this one.
Yeah, and a lot of people are talking about what you two would look like next to each other. Is he much bigger than you? It didn't seem like he was that much taller. Did you notice that as well?
Yeah, I tell the Rizwan, UFC have to check my tall again because it was 10 years ago first time. Now I'm a little bit taller.
Also, at the face-off yesterday, apparently Ian's son is a big fan of yours, and he wanted to meet you, and he started crying when he couldn't. What do you think of that, and will you give him the opportunity to meet you?
Insurgent, dude.
Sure.
Sleeper cell.
We will meet him. I don't see him there, but I make him happy.
Islam ain't falling for that shit.
Islam, right here. Ian was in here, and he said that his fight against you, he feels, is the highest level of martial artists competing against each other, you versus him, that we've had in a long time. So when you do watch Ian's skill set and tape and everything, is he that skilled and possibly the most skilled opponent?
2-3 years golden spoon. I said golden spoon. That's the yogurt place. 2-3 years wooden spoon.
You've had.
I don't know. Maybe like in the welterweight, if you watch the last fight, Mandalina, it's like more boxer. But I think Ian have more skills. He's good in the striking. He have good wrestling defense. But he have some weak point. He's not completely like 100% like myself. But he's good. It's gonna be good fight, and I saw he have like good takedown defense, and I have some things I have some key to beat him easy.
Beat him easy. That's crazy. You know what I feel like when I hear a lot of the Dagestanis and the high-level grapplers talk is like, they very much, when they say like, oh, he's got good takedown defense, they say it all the time. They're like, yeah, you can have good takedown defense, you can have good grappling defense, but if you have not trained this for as long as I've trained it, there's just levels that you don't know to go to, right? I feel like Ian's going to have very good first wave, maybe even second wave takedown defense and scrambles, but then there's this other level that these guys have, right, where they chain wrestle or they get to something that you've never experienced, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Where did this come from? Or they make an adjustment that you're not expecting, or they have this leverage that you don't know what to do with. It's just like they have these little tricks, if you want to call them that, little like nuances to the way they do things. It's not the standard like, we go here to here, we trip out this leg, we don't get that, we go here. They have like 2 or 3 different layers they can go to off every position, And I think that's where the difference is going to be. Where Ian's going to be able to stuff like your standard single or like a knee tap, or like even if Islam pushes him to the cage and gets the body lock, he can get back underhooks, or, you know, swim out to one side, or if he gets taken down, get back to his feet. But then there's going to be these little other nuances to it where Islam's going to just like manipulate an arm and pin one of the arms, or he's going to, you know, lock down one of the legs and use it to go to something else. And that's where Ian, I feel like, is going to be, you know, drowning a bit.
Islam. Ian said that his last 4 opponents.
What do you mean,
are
Wade
much
acting
better
like
than
he knows what
your
he's talking
last
about? What did I say wrong? Go ahead, username. Educate me on what I said wrong, please.
4 opponents. I'm curious if you agree
Let's
with
see
that
it- let's see
assessment
who
and
knows
what
what
you
they're
think
talking
of the
about.
people that he's faced.
Last 4? Before he said last 5. And I've said, like, why he don't respect his teammate Charles Oliveira. Now he say, why well, last 4? I don't know. When he have good opponents, he just lose. That's it. When he have Shafkat,
I don't know. I just heard you yapping. That's what I thought, pussy boy. Sit in the crowd where the fans go.
if he talk too much, just look at your fight. That guy beat you 4 rounds. That's it.
I do get trolled way too much.
Earlier
in this chat,
today,
dude. I
Ian
fall
said
for
that
it every
he beat
time.
Shavkat for 24 minutes, wasn't it, right? Yeah. Oh, Carlos, excuse me.
Is he the GOAT if he wins this? People
Yeah,
are
sorry.
like, I keep seeing people ask if Islam's the GOAT if he wins. Is he the GOAT? I don't know why, but it doesn't feel that way to me. I don't know why. Because you look at the racking up the wins, he's going to overtake. Is he tying or overtaking Anderson Silva with this one? Whichever one. He gets 2 divisions. He has a decent resume. Although you can argue he kind of lapped everybody that overtaking. Okay, he's overtaking. You can argue, though, that a lot of his big wins at 55 are him just beating the guys that Khabib already beat, you know? And that might be the one thing that when I say I don't feel like it, maybe that's what I'm leaning on. But he does have the 2 divisions, right? Islam's always like superstar status. I mean, yeah, that might be part of it too, but it's more so just like he has the Volkanovski wins, but Volkanovski's a 45er. Honestly, his best win at 55 to me, it might be his best win in general, is Charles Oliveira. Charlie Olives. And that's a great win. But I just don't know why. I'm like, he would beat Gaethje. True. But then again, if you beat Gaethje, you're just doing what Khabib already did, you know? Best wins, Prime Volk. I don't know. I mean, yeah, but we're talking about a 45er, right? Like a true 45er. Because he's he's a small 55er. I know he weighed a bunch when he did rugby, but his size, his frame, he's already surpassed Khabib. Okay, but I'm saying it doesn't, to me, I look at the resume and I see like 2 great wins. You know? 2 great wins. JDM's a really good win. I don't know that it is. I don't know that it is, because we just saw Carlos Praches smoke him. Maybe Carlos Praches is going to be, you know, one of the best guys at 70. The Ian Garry win would be big, for sure. But I don't know. I don't know. Something about it don't feel GOAT worthy. Something about it don't feel GOAT worthy. I still think John Jones is the GOAT even with this. And y'all are not going to like that, but I think John still holds that crown. No, the 170 run, yeah, that's fine. He can overtake Khabib. Khabib's not in my top GOAT consideration at all. Reason why for Jones? I feel like Jones has 3 tiers, well, really 4 tiers of wins. You know? Jones beat the generation of fighters before he came in, right? The big names at 205 before he came in. He beat his generation of fighters. He then beat the next generation of fighters, all at that weight class. He then goes to heavyweight and wins the belt. So we've satisfied the 2 belts. We've satisfied the clearing out of the division. We've satisfied, I mean, John has 1 loss, but the loss itself is self-inflicted. And we'll see what happens with Ciryl Gane, but Ciryl Gane might be one of John's best aging wins by the time this all is all said and done. You know what I'm saying? He might be one of the best wins that Jones has when this thing's all said and done. Because let's say Ciryl Gane goes and fights Tom Aspinall and beats Tom Aspinall again, or not beats him again, but goes and beats him. Then you have the guy that's pretty much ruling the heavyweight division, and John subs him in a minute and a half. Mighty Mouse has won skill for skill. Yeah, Mighty Mouse has got some of the best skill in MMA history for sure. But again, 25. Who'd you fight? Did John pop for PEDs multiple times? I don't think that's true. He did pop, but I don't think he popped multiple times. What fights was he caught multiple times? I thought he was removed from one of the fights for cocaine usage, which I guess if we're calling cocaine PEDs. The other was the fight got moved because of pulsating whatever. DC, but I thought he popped for cocaine in the DC fight. And that's why they called it off. Hit from the drug tester. Gustafsson, he didn't pop, though. They said he was pulsing. Yeah, the pulsating picogram shit. Steroids the second time, right? The DC second one. But I'm saying the one where the fight didn't happen because he was on cocaine or whatever. But steroids for the second one. That was the one that was the actual pop. You said that California was a more lax commission? I think that it's ambiguous as to what the pulsating picograms really were doing to his body or for his body. This is why USADA was ousted from the UFC. Because they were really like, I'm saying, what are the multiple times he failed for Turinabol? That was the fight he beat DC the second time, he was on PEDs, for sure. But where was the second time? UFC 200 flagged for clomiphene, but he didn't fight there, right? Now, granted, it is what it is. Like, okay, you were definitely on something, but if you didn't pop during the fight, what are we talking about? And wasn't this the dick pills argument? I'm not a glazer, I'm just saying. Wasn't this the dick pills thing? Didn't he hide under the boxing ring? I have heard he hid. Google it, bum, you're pissing me off. Why are you guys getting so... What are you getting so mad about? Why are y'all so mad? John is the greatest fighter that's ever lived. It is what it is. Easter egg in. Yeah, there were guys getting, multiple year suspensions from USADA that were bullshit. Oh yeah, didn't Islam pop? Yeah, what's up, Chloe? I'm not rage baiting. I'm just like, what the hell? All right, 2016 test flagged for anti-estrogenic agents before UFC 200, resulting 1-year ban. Got it. This was the dick pill stuff. Jones said it came from a tainted sexual enhancement pill. Okay, so debatable. You never know. Could it have been a dick pill in a gas station? Never know, right? We'll never know. So we're just gonna wipe that one away. Didn't fight anybody. Got banned for it. Is what it is. Served his time. Now the one he gets popped for is Turinabol. This one I'll give you. This is the Daniel Cormier 2 win, the head kick, no contest, 15-month suspension. You got to hold that one, right? Now, the 2018-2019 picogram, it seems, was some sort of residual after effect from 2017, right? Because that's what athletic commissions and USADA ruled were residual carryovers from his previous positive test rather than new usage. So that doesn't really even count. So you guys are saying that he popped 3 times. He really popped once. And the 2016, tainted dick pill, it is what it is, The 2018-2019 doesn't count because there's no, if they're saying that they tested and there was metabolites left over, this is not like a new usage. This is John's previous test. It is what it is, dude. You can't blame him for that one. That was residual effects from a year ago. It happens, dog. It happens. He popped against DC. I'll give you that. Yes, he popped against DC. What do you mean? The one time he got caught fighting on steroids was in 2017. I gave you that. That's what I said. Oh, yeah, no. More plates, more dates definitely thinks he did more. But, everybody's got their opinion. Oh, microdosing. Oh, I'm sure XD Gamer has done some steroids microdosing, I'm sure. You can call into question his GOAT status, but wouldn't you have to then call in a lot of people's GOAT status? Guys like Anderson Silva, guys like Islam Makhachev. Didn't Islam pop for something in 2016, 2017? Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. Well, that's what I'm saying. So if Islam popped as well, is he not a drug cheat? I don't know. So Islam can't be considered the GOAT. Well, yeah, John's pregnant women stuff. I mean, it doesn't. If Ian Garry were to run up 3 belts, I'm calling him the GOAT too. Okay, so no Islam, no Anderson Silva, no John Jones. You could argue GSP was never popped like that. But rumors. Right, but if Islam used a drug that was then on the WADA ban list later, then he was using PEDs. It seems like you guys can't keep your argument straight. Wade, check out Craig Jones' latest video on Islam Ian. It's super interesting technical explanation. I think you'll like it. All right, Brett, I appreciate it. I'll take a look. And by the way, wasn't there that scandal about Islam using like IVs and stuff in Australia? What happened then? I'm confused. We're not going to, just rumors? Well, didn't Ali explicitly say they were doing it? Like his manager, the one that runs their socials and is attached at the hip? I just don't think you guys, you don't like Jon Jones, so you don't want him to be the GOAT, but, Right, but they overturned Jon's stuff as well. And by the way, hold on a second. Wait a second. Wasn't there some report that came out that was the amount of stuff that Jon had in his system for the second DC fight or one of the fights that he had wouldn't have even been tested positive if used in the current setting? I vaguely remember it, but it's I know something, there was a report about it where Jon was like, yeah, see? Under the new testing, he wouldn't have popped either? I vaguely remember it. So he'll use every failed test. I'm not saying GSP's my GOAT. But if we're going to say Islam's about to be the GOAT and he also tested, well, he didn't test positive. I guess he out of competition. But still, they reversed it. Didn't Jon have the same thing happen? Oh, this is the article. Now, this is Jon saying it, but still, we're talking about the same thing here. Jon Jones claims past drug test failure is no longer valid, wants no contest versus Daniel Cormier overturned. The former UFC light heavyweight champion claims his previous test results are no longer valid under a 2019 revision to the U.S. or USADA that upped the threshold for prohibited substances to 100 picograms. Although USADA is not clear on their side of this specific change, Jeff Nowitzki blah, 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 commented publicly on the change in the threshold for prohibited substances in 2020. So is this not the same thing? If USADA changed the threshold later on to be above the threshold that Jon was at when he tested positive in 2014, or 2017, excuse me, would this not be the same thing? Would it not be? USADA has changed some of the rules regarding picograms and what's allowed, and I've come to find out all my findings are under the new legal limit, meaning that I would have been cleared in every test that I've ever taken, and that means a lot to me. I mean, this is the same thing you guys said. What do you mean taking Jones' word? It's Jeff Nowitzki saying it. This is Jeff Nowitzki. There's something screwy with the substance. We have athletes with small amounts of whatever this is, metabolite in their system for 2 or 3 years. It also pulses, comes and goes. We don't sanction any longer under our program if it's under 100 picograms. What do you mean taking Jones' word for it? So that now we don't take Jeff Nowitzki or Jones. What happened, guys? I thought that we were all... This is the argument you guys made too. Now we can't agree now? What happened? This is the head of testing in the UFC at the time. I'm not saying I know about it, Swerve. This is Jeff Nowitzki saying it. No, Terminator. That's not my argument. GSP is not my GOAT. I appreciate the fight, but GSP is not my GOAT. What am I arguing? You guys said that Islam's test shouldn't matter because it's been vindicated. They changed their rules. I said, well, does that not mean Jon Jones' test shouldn't matter because they've changed their rules? That's what y'all said. I didn't say that. Y'all said that. But you're saying Jon popped 3 times. All the times he would have popped, it would have been under this 100 picograms. So there, it would have been null and void. Right, but the second one, you said this is only clearing him of one test. The second one is residual picograms from the first test, which he didn't technically pop for. They changed the venue for it. It doesn't matter what he took it for. What does that matter? John took dick pills. Does that make it worse? For Islam, they came out publicly, said it was a mistake on their part in the ruling. They had prescribed for a doctor for a heart condition. Right, but it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is if it retroactively gets allowed, let's keep the same consistency. Right? Like, I think John's right about that, by the way. I think he's right. I think he should have that fight overturned. I think a no contest is bullshit. If you're going to make the ruling much later that the fight doesn't even get affected by whatever he had in his system, then he should have it overturned. Because that's what essentially Jeff Nowitzki's saying there. He's saying we don't even sanction things under 100 picograms. So what he's saying is that doesn't even make a difference. Right, but USADA was with the UFC when that determination was made. If it doesn't contribute to the fight, then why does it even matter? That's because he's saying it doesn't contribute to the fight, essentially. If he's saying things like, we don't even sanction any longer under our program if it's under 100 picograms. He's saying what John had in his system didn't even contribute to the fight. So why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't he? Makes you think. Come on, guys. Do some critical thinking. Do some critical thinking. Come on. Don't just because you don't like Jones, try to just pin it all on him, dude. Well, at the time he broke the rule, but the rule itself doesn't matter. The rule was made around something they didn't know. And it wasn't like you can prove he intentionally broke the rule because his levels are under the threshold. So it's like, I'm just saying. And also, if again we're going to go back to the GOAT discussion, I think the opponents that John has beaten in the different divisions, I think weigh a little more than Islam's. Okay, move on. Nah, I'll do exactly what I want, however I want on my stream, buddy. John isn't even married. More Plates, More Dates made a vid on it and said John had way more than Pico. How would More Plates, More Dates know? I don't understand. Did he get a sample? They all take PEDs? Whoa, dude, you can't say that. John has no win that compares to Volk. Yeah, but you're talking about Volk out of his division. So if we're saying Volk at 55, he really has no 55 resume. You know? He doesn't have a 55 resume. But the win streak for Islam is, I think, his biggest. I mean, the two divisions, obviously, as well. But that win streak is his biggest calling card. But I don't think, even with this win, I don't think he's the GOAT. I don't think so. I think John still remains the GOAT. I think for Islam to be the GOAT, maybe, I don't know. Maybe like one or two more wins, maybe. 20 win streak would do it, yeah. 20 win streak would do it. You can say my GOAT Doug Tom Aspinall. That's fine. I agree with you. But he's still the GOAT. You guys think that I don't agree that he ducked Tom Aspinall? I do. Still the GOAT, though. Personality and behavior? No, we're not going to do the personality shit on GOAT status, dude. If we're doing personality and behavior stuff on GOAT status, that ain't it. Muhammad Ali's not the greatest boxer to ever live. He's not. Factually, he's not. Why do I think UFC fighters pop so often? I don't know. I mean, USADA was a very, very, very strict testing pool, which is fine. You do need strict testing, but they were suspending guys for like whereabouts stuff and like weed for years. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, John won a very close fight against Dominic Reyes. Not his greatest fight ever, but he won it. It is what it is. Yeah, the Nick Diaz stuff. I'd love to debate you. Oh my God, are we going to have a full-on political debate? Let's do it. Let's go. Debate time. I mean, we're kind of doing that now. What? I don't know what you guys are saying. John popped. Okay, fair. John popped, even though technically, under the current rule set, John wouldn't have popped. Okay. I don't know if it's the current rule set after USADA left, but under the rule set USADA established before they left, John wouldn't have popped. And I'm pretty sure the organization that now works for the UFC is probably a little more lax than USADA is, but all right, fair. But what else do you got? He almost lost to Dominic Reyes. Okay. He won the fight. So what else? You know? I'm not saying Islam's not one of the best ever, but I just don't think he's the GOAT. Well, again, you keep saying he popped 3 times. We've already established, number one, it was cocaine the first time around. Number two, the amount he popped for in the Daniel Cormier fight wouldn't even register now. And number three, the third time was a lesser amount than he popped for against Daniel Cormier and was ruled to be a residual leftover from that. So how would that apply? Right. You guys are saying name a Jones win better than Volk. I can't give you a better name than Volk, but Volk has no resume at 55, so it's kind of tough to really even argue this. I'd have to argue Volk's resume at 45, which doesn't really make any sense. Right? Seeing as, especially now, Islam's at 70. You know? But Islam has good wins. I think he has 2 great wins in Volkanovski and Charles Oliveira. I think he has 2 great wins. I mean, technically, by the way, you could say DC's better than Volk. 2-division champion. Obviously, never beat John, but he beat Stipe and a more prime Stipe. So that would be up there. That'd be up there. DC is John's Volk. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we have DC as John's Volk. That's a wash. What else we got? Charles Oliveira. Who on John Jones' resume stacks up to Charles Oliveira? Oliveira. DC defo better than Volk? I agree. I just didn't know if you guys were going to consider it a win. Really, he beat him twice, too. So there's that. Granted, Islam beat him twice as well, but... And they kind of did it in similar ways. It's kind of weird. Hold on. Let me go back through his resume here. Surreal Gone, I'm telling you, that win is going to age very well, dude. Yeah, but the pop he had for the second time, no one considers as even like popping anymore. So that Surreal Gone fight is going to age so different. And by the way, Islam used an illegal IV when he was in Australia. So, you know, that Surreal Gone fight is going to age very well, I think. Imagine if Surreal Gone goes and beats Tom Aspinall. Cooked. Got Lyoto Machida on the resume, got Rampage on the resume, got Vitor on the resume. Got Shogun on the resume. I mean, we're talking champ season, dude. Champ season. Come on now. Come on. Rampage, the former champion. Don't say not a high-level fighter. Nah. We're talking champions here. Campeons. Y'all wouldn't be saying that if John didn't run through everybody, dude. Teixeira, Glover Teixeira, this is how I destroy this entire thing. Glover Teixeira fucking won a belt in his 40s in the UFC. Don't tell me motherfuckers are not winning belts like that when he won a belt 7 years after John beat him. Now it's stop. He beat Jan. Stop. All right, then. All right. I don't want to fucking hear it, dude. I don't want to hear that shit. That destroys the whole argument right there. That should be enough. Oh, now he's better at 40. Yeah, all right, cool. Damn, I didn't even realize that. That win is way better for John. Way better. He beat a prime Glover, dude. Prime, son. Armin's not a champion. Fuck are we talking about? What does that mean? Armin's not a champ. Who cares? Win a belt first, then talk to me. John's got champs on the resume, son. Resume. He should have beat Yuri. Yuri snuck out a sub, but he should have beat Yuri as well. Yeah, got Chael Sonnen, exactly. Uncle Chael. But John has how many champs on his resume? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Cyril Gane is an interim champ. John has beat 7 champions. 7. It was a different time. 7 champs. Come on, bro. Nah, we're not doing the Jake Paul shit. Fuck out of here. Come on. I'm just saying. Y'all don't have any argument for that. I don't got no argument for it. Wait, you guys said they were middleweights that came up? You guys are making the argument for Volkanovski when he came up. No, hold on a second. Now you can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say, well, he beat a bunch of guys that were middleweights and came up. Y'all were just trying to tell me that Volk was Islam's greatest win and he was a 45er that came up. Hold on now. Which one is it? Which one is it? Wait a sec. I thought we can't cook John for that and then give Islam the old clap. What are we doing? These are former champions or current champions when John beat them, like Hua. What are we doing? Or champions to be. We're not acting like Volk isn't him, but you guys can't use the John fought small guys when that's your base example of a win for Islam. Can't do it. Can't do it. Listen, John has 7 champs on his resume. It'll be 8 probably if Cyril beats Tom Aspinall. And what's crazy is his resume is going to age even better. That's what's even crazier. His resume is going to age better. If Cyril Gane wins the heavyweight title, then his resume is insane. Because he's got Stipe. Granted, it was an old Stipe, but he's got the greatest, arguably the greatest heavyweight in the history of the sport on his resume. He'll have the current gen heavyweight champ if Cyril beats Tom Aspinall. We'll see. That's not a guarantee at all. He'll have, like I said, 6 other champions. He'll have Daniel Cormier on the resume as well. Champions galore. You can say that after this weekend. You can. Stipe's not a good win. On name value, it's a good win. It's not prime Stipe, of course. But name value-wise, it's a great win. Oh, champ in a weak era. Of course. Now it's a weak era. Of course, dude. Of course. Of course. You can be champ in a weak era. Champs aren't the end-all, be-all. Jamal was a champ during that era. No one rates him. Being a champ isn't everything. Right. But no one rates Rampage Jackson as the same as they rate Jamal Hill. They shouldn't. No one rates Mauricio Shogun Hua that way either. You can't tell me John fought in a weak era. Crazy. You can't say that to me. The only argument you have, Burger King champ, the only argument you guys have is that he ducked Francis and Tom. And I'll agree with you on both. I'll agree with it. I'm not giving John the excuse of, whatever he gave to not fight Francis. The whole Tom thing, I kind of understand a little more, but you still ducked him. You were offered the money you wanted and you ducked him. If Glover became champ in a weak era, if that's what you believe, that's fine. But he was fucking 40. He's 40-something. That's why. What does Islam need to do to pass Jones? Like I said, I think more wins. That's it. Just more wins as champ. And that's it. 40's the new 30? Yeah, nah. I think you guys have fallen victim to not really like paying attention to what John Jones did and who some of those. That Glover win actually stands out way better than you think. That's a huge win for him. That's a huge win. What was I about to do? I was about to look somebody else's shit up here. Who was I with? Forgot now. Damn it. By the way, Glover was 42 when he won, not 40. Excuse me. Don't give me the, Glover got better as he got older. Bullshit. Bullshit. They were saying back in 2014 that Glover was out of his prime. That's 7 years before, and he was out of his prime then. Don't I want to hear that shit. Yes, the wins do age. Bullshit. If John beats Cyril Gane and Cyril Gane goes and runs the heavyweight division, that's a great win. When people went, it was, that win was trash. Gane can't grapple all this. Bro, I don't even want to fucking hear it. Go back and watch the way that people talked about Cyril Gane in that fight and all the way up through until he beats Pereira. I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all made Cyril Gane seem like he was trash. All of a sudden, he's whooping ass at heavyweight, got the interim belt. We'll see what happens with Tom Aspinall. I don't want to hear that. They absolutely can age. And again, the Glover win ages perfectly because Glover goes and does 7 years later, goes and wins the belt. That's a great win for John. Gane underperformed. Okay, yeah, exactly. Always excuses. Y'all can't just say, hey, John fucked that guy up. John easily beat that dude. Just give the man his credit. Damn. It's crazy. Y'all don't say none of this. Y'all don't say, Dustin Poirier took Islam into deep water. Y'all don't say none of this. Volk put Islam in terrible position. Volk should have beat him. Y'all, when it comes to John, well, this guy underperformed. Well, this guy wasn't in prime. Well, this guy used to fight at a different weight. Crazy. It's insane to see, dude. He's the GOAT, man. And I'm not, listen, Islam is arguably right there. That's not the argument I'm trying to make. Y'all are making it sound like I want to shit on Islam. That's not it. I'm just saying I don't think with this win, he's the GOAT. Sorry. That's it. I think he will win. But I just don't think with this win, he's the GOAT. Give me Islam beating Ian Garry. Cool. Give me Islam beating, I don't know. Prachas, fucking, whoever. I don't know. You can't say he's the GOAT of heavyweight. No, I didn't say that. I said he's the GOAT. Islam's win streak's more impressive? No. I mean, it's impressive, no doubt. Yes. Is it more impressive? I don't know. Is it more or less impressive than John's? Because John technically, again, his own fault, loses by DQ to Matt Hamill, but then rips off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No contest, which really should be a win over Daniel Cormier. Let's say 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If John doesn't get the bullshit DQ, and again, under current testing protocol, would not have popped hot in the Daniel Cormier fight, he'd be riding a 20-fight win streak. Really, he'd be 28. No, he'd have a 28-fight win streak. But let's just talk about UFC fights. 20-fight win streak. He's basically 30-0. Doesn't matter if it wasn't current during the time. You guys said that they came out later and said what Islam was doing was perfectly fine. They did it after John as well. Let it go, he popped? Yeah, I mean, I guess he popped for a currently non-existent level of drugs. I would be 30-0 against you. Irrelevant. That makes, who cares? Considering the close Reyes and Gus fights, the doping. Again, you can't know he provably doped. How is he the GOAT? What, so you can't win close fights anymore? Didn't you guys say, is it impressive to you that Islam gets taken into deep waters by Dustin Poirier when Khabib beats him even cleaner? So because you win close fights, that's bad. You should blow out everybody. Did you really just type the entire Guru video in the fucking super chat? Yeah, anybody can poke. I just poked holes in Islam's resume. I can poke holes in John's resume as well. The Thiago Santos fight, the Anthony Smith decision, the Dominic Reyes fight. Of course. For sure. But you also have to give credence to the fact that he factually won those fights. He won them. I can do this with Islam's record as well. Lost to a bum. Flat out got knocked out by a bum. So what do you want me to... I mean, John's never been stopped. Never even been rocked or hurt. Came back stronger. That's fine. I'm just saying you want to do the... That's it right there. Gets taken to deep water by washed Poirier after Khabib beat him way easier. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know what... you can't... John's never been knocked out cold, flat on the mat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to give you for that. Islam can be top 3, I think, yeah. Does running from tough opponents damage resume? No, because your resume is the things that you did, not the things that you didn't do. right? The resume doesn't include the fights, the potential fights. How is that part of your resume? When people are like, "Oh, you can't say John's the GOAT because he never fought this guy and this guy." Why not? We're talking about the fights he had, not the fights he didn't have. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter. I agree with you, though, that John ducked both the fights. I'm not saying he didn't, but you can't. The resume is the things you did. Doesn't matter. Chris, it doesn't matter that Shogun gave him a shot. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. GSP's resume. Oh, that's what I was going to look up. GSP's resume. Or record, I mean. Ba. I like using Tapology better than fucking the UFC's thing. It always glitches out. Okay, so let's take a look at GSP's record because I don't think it's going to age anywhere near as close as John's. He has some good wins on here, though. He has the BJ Penn win. That's a good win. He has the Matt Hughes win. That's a good win. And then he has Bisping. I would say Bisping, Carlos Condit's a good win. It's not a great win. Bisping, because he was a champ, even though, it's a good win. But BJ Penn and Matt Hughes wins are elite wins. Elite wins. Right? Those are elite. Talk about straight mid after those big names. I know. No offense to Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy's a beast, but not the greatest of wins. Jake fucking Shields, of all people. Holy. Carlos Condit's a good win. Nick Diaz, at the time, good win. Johnny Hendricks didn't age well. Really, you can, again, close win, but didn't age well. A lot of people thought Big Rig won that, but it is what it is. Shirk, for the time. But the loss to Matt Hughes, the loss to Matt Serra, those things are always gonna be a plague. Really, the Serra loss is awful. That's a terrible loss. Terrible. Dan Hardy's a beast at commentary. Come on, don't rag him. Terrible loss. I know, but it's almost impossible to scrub this loss. Like, there was no shot. Do you guys realize how Matt Serra even got the opportunity to fight GSP? Does anyone even realize how that happened? Like, Matt Serra did not belong in that fight. This was ages ago, though. What do you mean it was ages ago? These are the fights you have to go off of. Yeah, he won the Ultimate. I know, but he won the Ultimate Fighter and got a shot at the title and won. And not just won, he knocked out GSP. It doesn't matter that the rematches don't just wash that away. It's a part of his resume. They don't just wash it. We saw it happen. It's on his record. You can't go, well, he avenged it, so it don't matter. Bullshit. It still matters. This is like watching one of the Dana White Contender Series guys come off the show and knock out a world champ. It's a good boy. I know, I'm loud. That's what the equivalent of that would be. It'd be like, I don't even know who we'd compare it to. It'd be like watching fucking, okay. Good Lord, get over here. Ah. Oh, thank you. It doesn't matter his age. Look at this cope. You have to account for it. I don't want to hear the cope, dude. It's not me being a GSP hater, but you have to recognize what happened. Yeah, it'd be like Sir Kayev coming out and slumping Sean Strickland. Straight off the show, dude. You have to be able to take that into account. Oh, he's a baby. Oh, he's a baby. He's a baby. He's a baby. The one thing that hurts Mighty Mouse's resume is his competition. Like, out of the GOAT conversation, Demetrius probably faced the worst competition. Not his fault, but it just is what it is. He's a baby. It's a baby. It's a baby. It's a baby. DJ's the best, not the GOAT. Well, those two things are synonymous. Okay, no more jumping. I don't think that DJ, we can look at the resume really quickly. Right, Matt Serra, that's fine. He fought in the UFC. There was a reason he was back on The Ultimate Fighter. Wasn't working out too well. All right, let's look. Is this the fucking ESPN one? Hold on. You know what? There is something that needs to be said for Demetrius going over to one championship and doing his thing as well. That's fair. But, Ian McCall at the time was a good win. Benavidez at the time was a good win. John Dotson, meh. Again, Benavidez, sure. Cejudo's a great win. Loses in the rematch. Yes, his resume's okay, but it's like you lose to Cruz at 35. This would have been a sealer right here. Benavidez was good, but we're not talking to John Dotson was always a tough fight, but he was never great. But this would have solidified it. This right here. You beat Dominic Cruz out of your weight, that's it. But the Henry Cejudo win was a fantastic one. He caught, and again, no excuses. Fantastic win. Henry was new to MMA at that point, but he got him. Right? Aged well. But then the loss to Cejudo, obviously, that's there as well. So, it's just mid, skip. I just don't see the same level there. I just don't see it. Islam by the end of his career, that's not a bad argument. I don't hate that argument. Look at Anderson Silva's. Anderson's resume, I don't think Anderson's got the greatest resume. Also, let me see. And this is what's going to hurt Anderson's resume. And you can't downplay this because it's part of what happened, okay? Just like I said about what you can't take from John or the things he didn't do because he didn't do them. Like he never factually fought the guy, so you can't really, put it on or off his resume. You have to include the losses that Anderson Silva had because he kept fighting. And that's what's going to hurt his resume more, but you have to include him. But let's go back to, and by the way, his time in the UFC is not even necessarily prime Anderson Silva. But he does hit a crazy streak here. Lieben's not a great win. Rich Franklin at the time was a good win. But at the time, no one knew how to defend a Muay Thai plum, dude. So, Hendo was a good win. God, James Irvin. This guy was supposed to be something special at the time, too. Patrick Cote. Yeah, it doesn't. This resume. Vitor's a good win. Chael. Man, I can't lie. This is not a great resume. I will give you that. This streak is not as great looking back, but again, it was the highlight KOs, right? KO. It's just smoking fools. But when you look back at it, Not the greatest at all. Okami, not a great one. The fact that Stephan Bonner got there late is insane. And then all taxi drivers, yeah. I know, but it's just like, God, Derek Brunson's got to feel terrible. And then you do have to add on these losses. Now, again, you got the leg break here. You got the, fucking around, but still gets knocked out by Chris Weidman. Getting knocked out by Chris Weidman. Loses to Bisping in a very controversial decision, but still, and then loses up a weight class to Cormier. Loses to Adesanya on his way to the belt, Cannonier, and then Uriah. You have to count these. You do. You have to count them. You got to do it. Rocky, hush. Is this I'm close to surpassing Anderson Silva? I think he's already passed Anderson, really. Now that you look at that resume. Rocky! Not barking. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, when you take into account the resume, Rocky, hush. When you take into account the resume, he's going to drive me nuts. I kind of do feel like Islam's got the better resume, by far. What do you mean Silva never lost to another fighter? He did lose multiple times. What are you talking about? Yeah, but you shouldn't only look at resume. Yes, you should only look at resume. What are you talking about? What else is there to evaluate when you're talking about the greatest of all time? What else is there to evaluate? Cejudo's the GOAT? Your eyes and skill. Well, yeah, I mean, the resume is a part of the eye test. Someone said they're sparring clips. Skill? What do you mean skill? Skill is winning. Winning is the skill. That is the objective of combat sports. No, I don't think you can just strictly go the era they fought in. You look at the resume to determine who were the names, what were their records, what did they look like at the time. Because the era they fought in versus what happens after sometimes can age your resume better or worse. Striking, grappling, and all that. That's a part of what we're talking about. What do you mean? If you want to say, like, the way they won, okay, that's a good argument. But, like, that's a part of their resume as well. Okay, but if era takes it into account, all anyone's going to do always is go, the current era is the best era. So there's no point in even having the discussion. For all intents and purposes, I think we all agree that current MMA is more evolved in terms of the abilities of the fighters, in terms of the totality of the sport than it was. But that doesn't mean, because the sport as a whole has evolved, that the individual accomplishments at the time don't matter. Losses don't always matter, though, as long as you aren't getting dominated and knocked out. No, they matter. When you lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8, they matter. They matter. So it's like you can always play that, well, he played against or he fought against taxi drivers or whatever. You can always do that, but it's not going to hold up when, especially, you have a guy like John Jones who did it in multiple eras. John's career dissuades the era argument completely. Right? And that's why I still put him on the GOAT list. He did it in like 4 eras, dude. I don't see a good argument yet for John not being the GOAT. And if John isn't the GOAT, who is? You know? Because I'm not putting GSP with that resume or, the names he beat above John. I'm not putting Anderson Silva above John. Islam has got a decent claim to getting there for sure, but I'm not putting DJ up there with John. The Olympic gold medals don't matter for your UFC career. You can talk about combat sports GOAT, but that's different. John's not the GOAT because I don't want him to be. That's unironically the argument that people make. That's unironically the argument. John's not the GOAT because I don't want him to be. You could say his resume, but I just showed you John's resume stacks up better than pretty much everybody else's GOAT resume. John has 7 champions on his resume, dude. 7. I take the PEDs into account, and I will even say, you know what? If I have to give up something, even though I think it does make sense logically, if you change the testing protocol, meaning the testing protocol was flawed, and what you thought was a competitive advantage, because that's what PEDs are, a performance enhancer, isn't a competitive advantage, you find that out as testing evolves or whatever, I don't necessarily think that should go against somebody. Take your bias out of it, does that not make sense? Right? If I test you at a certain point and my test is not as accurate as I think it is, I come back and years later say, you know what? The way we tested didn't actually catch a performance benefit. It caught metabolites, or it caught something that didn't give performance and benefit. Does that not disqualify the test used in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if I tell you that if I do a test and I'm saying, you know what, we're testing for weed, and if you pop for any portion of weed in your system, then we're going to take your win or whatever. I come back years later and when I go, you know what, we actually found out that one, the amount of weed you had in your system wasn't competitively relevant, and two, the test we used it for, we've changed. I'd be kind of pissed and be like, what the fuck? I told you guys I didn't have an advantage. I want my win back. And because we've already gone through the fight and we saw how it played out, it would make sense. You know what I'm saying? Would that not make sense? Can the no contest in the DC fight put a weakness in his career? I mean, yeah. If we go back and we say John didn't get a physical performance advantage from a level he tested at in the second fight, and that's overturned to a win, to a knockout win of Daniel Cormier, yeah, that's a huge benefit for John. Huge. I disagree. I disagree that Volk is better than DC. Resume-wise, especially. Islam's 3 best wins had 31 win streak combined. Jones had 17. What does that matter? What 3 best wins? You're talking about essentially Volkanovski. Bro, come on. Daniel Cormier is a 2-division world champion. Beat arguably the greatest heavyweight ever. Arguably. Right? Granted, he lost to him as well. But I think that win, especially if he did it twice, is just as good. Has Anderson Silva on the resume. Has Rumble Johnson on the resume. Has Frank Mir, former world champion, on the resume. Josh Barnett on the resume. And Stipe. Why does the win streak matter? Well, you're taking a massive bias from the Volkanovski win. That's why it matters. That's why you're saying that. What about Fedor? Fedor never made it to the highest level of competition, so I can't put him in there. And also, these win streaks, you're not taking into account the losses on people's resume either. You're not taking into account the losses on Charles Oliveira's resume, for example. Right? Even though I think that's one of Islam's best wins, he's got a lot of losses as well. Right? Domination should also be taken into account. I mean, both John Jones and Islam are dominant. So it's like, that's kind of a push. I'd say Islam passes DC if he beats Garry. I could be there. I'm not saying DC is like, I'm using DC as a way to pump John's resume. Not that DC is a GOAT conversation. Honestly, Islam might already be there. He's probably already past DC. Wait, such a boxing take? MMA losses don't weigh as heavy? So if the losses don't weigh for GOAT status, then what are we talking about? We're not saying in general the losses don't matter or whatever, but we're talking about GOAT conversation. We have to be nitpicky. We have to. Yeah, John's had struggles. Islam got knocked the fuck out. If we're going to go that direction and say, oh, well, John arguably lost this or he struggled with this guy, Islam got left out fucking cold. That's the worst of the worst. If we're going to be nitpicky. Fluke KO. Okay, so make excuses for it, but don't tell me then, if you're going to do that, hold on. If you're going to say it's a fluke KO, then don't tell me John shoulda, woulda, coulda. Because I can just say, okay, well, bad performance, fluke. Sorry. Right? I can do the same thing. If you're going to say, oh, well, look, John actually lost to Dominic Reyes, I'll be like, fluke. Sorry, fluke. Same shit. Oh, it was a boy, not a man. See? Okay. But Vincent, that also that strengthens my argument. Sloppy championship wins. He's fighting at championship level and still winning. Islam fought at nowhere near championship level and lost badly to a guy that is not championship level, the guy that never got to a belt. I'm just saying. Bad performances don't equal a loss. He got dropped and smashed with a hammer fist. He was out. He said there's a difference. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a 1 second difference from him getting hurt worse. I don't know. What are we talking about? The point is, John was never in that kind of danger, never hurt that badly, and never had another man TKO him. The only loss on John's resume is him elbowing a guy incorrectly. That's it. That's the only loss he has. That's the only one. He elbowed the guy incorrectly and lost. He was so dangerous and so dominant that his vicious elbows were his own undoing. That's where we're at, dude. Oh, so now we got the eye pokes. Okay, dude. So it's never just accept what reality is. Just so you know, USADA defended Jones. All right, good. Perfect. More to my argument. You can say Turinabol doesn't pulsate, but the director of the drug testing agency does say it. So why do I believe you, Dane Maker, and not USADA? I don't know. I'm just saying. I know, of course he was beating the shit out of Matt Hamill, dude. Yes, of course he was. Because Big Pharma is corrupt. Islam and Jones are both 28-1, right? But the one on John's resume is just he elbowed a guy at the incorrect angle. Which, by the way, are 12-6 elbows even still illegal? No, but they were at the time. Wow! Oh, goodness gracious. Isn't that insane? Wow. Well, well, well. Sorry, Bubba. Very interesting. It's almost like as the sport has evolved, John's style has evolved even better on camera and, oh, thank you, and in the cage. Interesting. Interesting. I know, Rocky flips out when I get loud. No. Interesting. How John's style is more suited for modern MMA when you guys say, what about his era? John was doing shit in his era that was so nasty that they weren't even prepared for it. That's how crazy this man was. The sport wasn't even prepared for how violent he was. Hold me back, Rocky, because I'm going to have to get in their ass. Pause. He was so good. That's right. He was so good that he was so nasty and so violent that they weren't even ready for it. Thank you, Bubba. I thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bubba. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Get up here. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Okay. That's right. Got my boy with me. Okay, get down. Stay down, Bubby. Stop. Well, again, you can say he popped multiple times, but I have the director of the UFC's drug testing agency saying that they've incorrectly tested for the substance he popped for twice, which retroactively, if they didn't provide any enhancement to him, I agree with him that he should have his wins reinstated, or he should have his win reinstated. No jumping. Like again, we've talked about this. If they determined, Rocky, down. If they determined that the level of performance enhancer didn't provide any enhancement, then what's the point of testing for it? You know? Rocky going for underhooks? No. Stay down. No. Stay down. He's too big to hold, and his freaking nails scratched the shit out of me. So it is what it is. I know we've been on this discussion for forever now, but I feel like I body bagged the chat with that. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I toe tagged you. I'm not a John fan. I just think you guys get I don't know. You get locked into this thinking of like, oh, well, I'm told that John's resume was actually bad, so it was bad. I'm told that John only beat these guys, so they weren't good. I think that there's more nuance to it, and I think I provide a good argument for why he is the GOAT. That's what I think. Anyway, what else do we have before we skedaddle? I got to do a prediction video on this. Oh, this is Ian Garry saying that for once it wasn't him wearing the high heels.
A lot of talk about your height and reach advantage. What looked like basically the same size almost.
Yeah, he was wearing high heels.
Sargon, you got a coat.
Silhouettes. He wasn't. Wait till you see Friday night when we're both wearing the same shoes because we're obligated to wear the same shoes. Wait and see them.
He said you were wearing high heels, puffed up shoes, something. Can you give us the honest answer? What kind of shoes were you wearing for this face-off?
No, it's regular shoes. Nothing special, and that numbers which I have right now, it's because UFC check my toll when I have debut 10, 11 years ago.
Debut.
UFC have to check again. I become big right now, and I'm the welterweight, not normal lightweight.
A lot of talk about your...
You said Jones padded his record. Who is he supposed to fight but the guys that are in his division? I'm confused. Who's he supposed to fight? I know, John's resume is crazy, but they downplay it. It's hilarious. I think that's pretty much it for what we're covering today. I got to do a prediction, but we'll do it on video today because I got to do oh, speaking of, we'll make sure to, I think this is in the description. You guys click the description. Use code WADE at Polymarket. Right now, this is what the trading percentages look like. Islam trading at 77% chance of winning on Saturday. Ian Machado Garry at 24. Now, what's cool about Polymarket and these prediction markets are that you are predicting and trading against each other, right? You're not trading against the house. You're not trying to, figure out what the bookies or anybody else is putting down. This is in real time traders predicting what they think is going to win, or what they think is going to happen, I should say. So the majority of people think Islam Makhachev is going to win. That's it. You can say horrible takes, guys, but you have no defense for what I told you about John. All you guys do is scream PEDs, but you have no defense for the nuance of that conversation. Rocky. Again, Dane, I've gone over this time and time again. If John failed the drug tests that then come out and the organization says, well, we actually were getting it wrong with the testing, the thing he failed for provided no performance enhancement. 0. Then I do have to take them at their word and say, okay, well, if that's the case, then John should be 29 or 29-1. Right? He should be. Do I think John lost against Reyes? I think there's arguments for sure that can be made that John lost against Reyes. I think it's easy to make that argument. Which is obviously, probably his worst night of fighting. But anyway, guys, make sure you use code WADE. When you guys use code WADE, you download the app. You're going to get $20 to trade when you deposit $10. That's $20 to trade when you deposit $10. We're going to be throwing some down on this. There's also very interesting, combo trades you can make, like a money line, Islam Makhachev, win by submission, under 4.5, the combo boost there. You can talk about all these different props, right? Which there's good entry to be made on some of these. Makhachev by KO, TKO. No one's really talking about that. Could it be? Win by submission is obviously something a lot of people are talking about that Makhachev could do. But anyway, code WADE at the link in the description. Like I said, you get $20 when you trade or deposit, your first 10. We'll have more on that in the video that we drop tomorrow as well. Strawman is leaving. What do you mean? Dane, you had no response for what I said. You could be upset, but you got to give me a coherent response. Hey, stop. You got to do what you got to do, make money, blah, blah. I mean, dude, yes, I gamble. I play prediction markets. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. If you guys don't like it, you don't have to like it. You don't have to fuck with it, but I do. I'm not going to apologize for it. Dane, I'm waiting. Before I get out of here, I genuinely want to see what you said. He said Anthony Smith is Jones' best win. Okay, well, that's insane. That's insane. Rocky, what are you looking? Oh, is your ball back there? Anyway, predictions tomorrow right here on the channel. Okay? predictions. We're going to live stream probably for the press conference. Will be live, and then we'll do like a breakdown after. We'll live stream probably for the weigh-ins, and then we'll do maybe not a breakdown, but we'll just live stream for the weigh-ins. And then we're live on Saturday for UFC 330. The card itself is kind of buns. I think we all know this, but the main event is a very good one. So, what happens then? Don't have those answers. Tell someone you love them. Peace and love. I am out.